Hey, Dad. Here we are. It's not a work day. It's an eat day, and Dad's done something special. What do you got there?
We're gonna make Stophe's ribs for his birthday. We've got a smoker pack here. It's got some hickory chips in it that've been soaking in water overnight, and a few dry ones. We're gonna put this on the left part of the grill, where the heat will be to generate the smoke, and then after we start getting some smoke on the non-heated part of the grill, we're gonna put the ribs. Let's take these, and we just started the grill. We're going to sit these right down in here like that. We have some holes poked in the top for the smoke to come out, and we'll end up putting the ribs over here. We'll try to keep the temperature around 250 degrees, and in about 6 hours we may have some pretty decent looking ribs. We're going to make some sauce and some mops for it, and then we're going to feast. Got 2 racks of ribs that have been rubbed down with some of my homemade spices, and let set for about 30 hours. And it's got basically garlic salt and cumin and cinnamon and some cardamom and paprika, spices all put together, a little bit of anise, and should taste good by the time we get done with a little bit of mopping on it. Let's take it out and put it on the grill. I see some smoke coming out. It's right now at about 260, 270, and we'll try to keep it down below between 250 and 300. Put these right down on the non-heated part of the grill. In there like that, and we'll kind of watch. Okay, you're looking at the thermometer now. It's been just about a little less than an hour. We're trying to keep the temperature between 200 and 250. And as Stophe always knows, that I use wine when I cook, and sometimes I actually put it into the food. We're going to take a look now. While you guys weren't looking, I smeared a little bit of, if you notice the smoke coming up from the wood chip bag, the smoke bag. But while you weren't looking, what I did do was take some yellow mustard, some really cheap hot dog yellow mustard. We don't want to use Dijon or any of the famous mustards. The cheaper the better, the yellower the better. And I always use that when I smoke my meat. Now if you take a close look at this meat right now, you're starting to see the meat recede from the bone. That means we're really cooking here. And if you remember the pictures back when it was put on, we didn't see some of these bones sticking through. And it'll slowly recede. That's the fat and the ribs cooking back. We're going to turn these over, and then we're going to mop them. I've made a mop. It's made out of some red wine vinegar and some white wine and several of the spices that we put into the rub. Plus, if we take a look at this, we've got a couple of pieces of jalapeno pepper in there, and some pieces of ginger, and some pieces of orange rind. We're going to try to heat this up a little bit for Stophe. He likes hot stuff. We'll turn this other rib over. Yeah, looking good. And then we're going to mop it. Now, one thing about mop, we don't brush it with a barbecue brush. We actually use what they call a mop brush. And there are 2 kinds. One looks like an old-fashioned swab mop that they use in the Navy, or we have one like this. We don't want to damage the meat, so we want to just be very light about how we put this on here. This is to keep it moist. We hardly touch the meat. We do want to keep it moist while it's smoking away. So we got about another 4 or 5 hours here. After about 3 or 4, possibly, after we take a look at the meat, what we might want to do is just take it and wrap it in aluminum foil and let it rest. Like all grilled or barbecue meat, you have to let it rest because that brings the juices back into the meat. Okay, that's our first mop. And every time we turn it, about every 30 or 40 minutes, we'll remop it. 5.5 hours, 6.5 hours. Let's see, we started at 1, it's now 6, so it's 5.5 hours. And I think these are just about right. You don't see the yellow mustard anymore. See, some of them have pulled back from the bone. What we're going to do now is we're going to take them off the grill. We're going to wrap them up in aluminum foil and let them rust for about a half hour. What that's going to do is let all that juices that are now, you can see bubbling here, settle right back into the meat and the flesh. And then we'll cut those up and feast. Take that off. Put that like that. Cover that little puppy up. Like that. That smells good. Let me tell you, that smells good.
What's that say on your shirt there?
Oh yeah. In case you're thinking about November, let's get it straight.
Alright, well, apparently that's how you do ribs. So,
yep.
Too bad no one else is here to eat them with us.
Yeah, if you ever come when Nana and Papa or Mom and Dad are here, you may get a chance to get some ribs.